There are places on this planet that defy logic, that challenge belief, and blur the line between reality and myth. Imagine a land where fire and ice collide, where volcanoes erupt in slow, hypnotic waves, while ancient glaciers stand frozen in time. A place where black sand beaches stretch endlessly, haunted by towering rock formations that whisper the secrets of Old Norse gods, where waterfalls don't just fall, they glow like molten lava, cascading down cliffs sculpted by the hands of time itself. This is Iceland, but not just any Iceland. Today, we embark on a journey into its most surreal and otherworldly wonders. Places so breathtaking, they feel like they belong to another world. Over the next few minutes, we will venture deep into Iceland's most mysterious landscapes. From volcanic craters that still pulse with life, to waterfalls carved like cathedral walls, to glaciers so vast they hold the secrets of Earth's past. But as we journey through these unreal locations, one question remains. Are we truly looking at Earth? Or have we stepped into another realm? Let's find out. Kirkjufell, the guardian of the north. A silent sentinel watching over the icy waters of the North Atlantic. Rising 463 meters into the sky, its sharp arrowhead peak seems almost too perfect to be real. But this is no ordinary mountain. This is Iceland's most photographed, most mysterious, and perhaps its most otherworldly landmark. At first glance, Kirkjufell feels like something from a dream, a mountain not shaped by time, but by the hands of ancient gods. Science tells us it was sculpted by glaciers over millennia. But legend tells another story. They say this was once the stronghold of giants, an ancient fortress in a time before humans. Others believe Kirkjufell is a gateway between worlds, a place where reality thins, where the veil between the seen and unseen begins to fray. Some whisper that a Viking king was laid to rest beneath its towering form, standing eternal against the elements. And yet, Kirkjufell feels strangely familiar. If you've seen Game of Thrones, you know this place. The mountain like an arrowhead, a marker beyond the wall, where the dead stir, where ancient forces awaken. But Kirkjufell is more than just a mountain. It is a living masterpiece, shifting with every season. In summer, emerald slopes cascade toward the sea, bathed in the endless glow of the midnight sun. In autumn, the land burns with gold and amber as mist curls around its peak. And in winter, Kirkjufell stands frozen in time. Its silhouette rises against the northern lights, a sight so surreal, it feels like stepping into another world. At its base, Kirkjufellsfoss tumbles down in 3 delicate tiers. Its water so clear, it mirrors the sky. Here, photographers from around the world gather, capturing the perfect harmony between the falls and the peak. A vision so flawless, it seems almost unreal. But Kirkjufell is more than a landmark. It is a symbol of Iceland's wild, untamed beauty, a place where myths linger in the wind, where reality bends, and where those who stand before it can't help but wonder, what lies beyond the edge of the world? Litlanesfoss, the waterfall of stone guardians. Deep in Iceland's untamed wilderness, a waterfall tumbles through a corridor of ancient stone. This is Litlanesfoss, a hidden wonder unlike any other. But this is no ordinary cascade. Framed by towering hexagonal basalt columns, it feels less like a place of nature and more like the ruins of a forgotten civilization. A fortress of stone shaped not by hands, but by fire and time. Thousands of years ago, this land was alive with molten fury. Rivers of lava cooled, contracting into perfect geometric pillars. Walls that rise like cathedral spires, standing sentinel over the falls. The result? A landscape that doesn't seem random, but designed. As if Iceland itself was carving its own masterpiece. When the sun shifts, light dances across the dark basalt. Shadows stretch and shift, revealing patterns that seem too precise to be coincidence. Some say these columns are ancient sentinels, standing guard for eternity. Others believe they mark the entrance to a hidden world, a world just beyond human sight. Litlanesfoss is not Iceland's largest waterfall. It doesn't roar like Goðafoss. It doesn't stretch endlessly like Goðafoss. But what it lacks in size, it makes up for in mystique. Its waters descend in a narrow, controlled cascade, slicing through stone that has stood here since before the first Viking set foot on this land. And if you listen closely, the sound of the falls echoes strangely between the basalt walls, almost like whispers. What are they saying? Is it the voice of nature or something else entirely? Not far from here, Goðafoss draws visitors from all over the world. But those who rush past often miss this secret wonder along the way. Litlanesfoss is for those who look deeper, for those who take the road less traveled, where Iceland's landscapes reveal their most surreal wonders. As you stand beneath these towering pillars, watching the water carve its eternal path through stone, one thing becomes clear. This is not just a waterfall. It is a monument to fire, water, and time. But as the mist rises and the wind whispers through the pillars, a question lingers in the air. Is this place watching us back? Fagradalsfjall, Iceland's awakening giant. For 800 years, the land beneath Fagradalsfjall lay silent. A sleeping giant, its fiery heart buried deep beneath layers of ancient rock. But in March 2021, that silence was shattered. The ground trembled, the earth cracked open, and from its depths, molten fire erupted into the Icelandic sky, painting the heavens in hues of orange and crimson. This was not just an eruption. It was the birth of a new volcanic landscape, unfolding before the world's eyes in real time. Unlike the violent explosions that have shaken Iceland in the past, Fagradalsfjall's awakening was different. It began as a quiet glow on the horizon, a thin crack in the desolate Reykjanes Peninsula. Then the fire came. Lava poured from the fissure, slow and mesmerizing, crawling across the valley floor in glowing rivers of liquid rock. Scientists, photographers, and adventurers rushed to witness this rare event, a volcano being born. Unlike most eruptions, this one was approachable. People stood just meters away, feeling the searing heat, hearing the hiss of escaping gas, watching as Iceland reshaped itself moment by moment. What makes Fagradalsfjall truly surreal is its constant transformation. Most volcanoes erupt once, then fall silent. But this one, it has erupted multiple times since 2021, each event reshaping the land. Lava fields that didn't exist a year ago now stretch for miles. Craters rise from the ground, glowing with molten fury. New fissures open, swallowing valleys, creating new landscapes overnight. Here, Iceland is still being born, a land that refuses to be still. Icelandic folklore speaks of fire giants, creatures of myth that slumber beneath the earth. Could Fagradalsfjall be their restless stirring? Even its name, beautiful valley mountain feels almost too delicate for the raw power that lies beneath it. But the most haunting thought is this: Fagradalsfjall is only the beginning. The Reykjanes Peninsula is awakening after nearly 1,000 years of dormancy. What if this eruption is just the first whisper of something greater? To stand before Fagradalsfjall is to witness the earth in its most primal form. A place where time itself seems irrelevant, where rock and fire shape the world in ways humans can barely comprehend. As the lava cools, turning into vast black fields of jagged rock, it leaves behind a silent reminder: Iceland is alive, and it will never stop changing. Goðafoss, the waterfall of the gods. In the heart of Iceland's volcanic north, where the land is shaped by fire and ice, a river carves its way through ancient stone. It flows with quiet determination until it reaches this place. Then, silence is shattered. A crescent of water erupts over the cliffs, plunging into a mist-shrouded abyss, a collision of raw power and timeless beauty. Goðafoss, the waterfall of the gods. It is not the tallest in Iceland, but it does not need to be. It commands attention. Spanning 30 meters wide, it thunders downward in a perfect celestial arc, a crown of liquid silver resting upon black volcanic rock. As the water crashes below, mist coils into the air, catching the sunlight, weaving rainbows into the storm. But this place is more than nature's masterpiece. It is a threshold between two worlds. More than 1,000 years ago, Iceland stood at the edge of change. The old gods, Odin, Thor, Freyr, had ruled for centuries. But a new faith had come, and the choice fell to one man, Thorgir Ljósvetningagodi. For a day and a night, he lay in silence, wrapped in thought beneath the vast Icelandic sky. The fate of a nation rested in his hands. When he rose, he carried a verdict that would alter history. To mark the end of an era, Thorgir gathered the wooden idols of the Norse gods and cast them into the raging waters of Goðafoss. One by one they fell, swallowed by the current, lost to time. The gods of old, gone in a single moment. Yet standing here, you can almost feel them still. The air hums with something ancient. The mist carries whispers, voices lost to the river's endless song. If you listen closely, you might still hear them. In summer, Goðafoss gleams beneath the midnight sun, its emerald shores glowing in golden light. But in winter, it transforms into something otherworldly, a frozen kingdom of sculpted ice, where the northern lights paint the sky in spectral fire. Each season, a different face. Each moment, a different legend. But one truth remains. In this land of fire and ice, where gods were once cast down, some legends never truly disappear. Reynisfjara, Iceland's black sand cathedral. Some places defy the limits of reality. They don't just exist, they haunt. Reynisfjara is one of them. On Iceland's untamed south coast, where the North Atlantic does not forgive, a blackened shore stretches beneath a sky of shifting tempests. There is no soft, golden sand here, no gentle tide lapping at the shore. Instead, a battlefield. Beneath your feet, the ground is black as midnight, a vast, restless expanse of volcanic ash and shattered lava. Each grain a relic of fire, ice, and time. And the ocean, it does not whisper, it roars. To understand Reynisfjara, you must listen to its creation. Centuries ago, beneath the restless Katla volcano, the earth cracked open, unleashing a torrent of molten fury. Lava surged toward the sea, unstoppable, untamed. But fire met ice, and in that violent collision, the molten rock shattered. What remained was darkness itself. Millions of fragments, forged in chaos, shaped by eternity. But the beach is only half the mystery. Look up. A towering wall of perfect hexagonal pillars rises from the black shore, the basalt columns of Gardar Cliff, nature's own cathedral, built not by man, but by the cooling of an infernal past. Each column stands with eerie precision, as if sculpted by a forgotten civilization. Stacked in harmony, yet twisted by unseen forces, they loom like the ruins of an ancient temple, a shrine to the elements. And then, beyond the waves, monoliths. The Reynisfjara sea stacks, jagged, colossal, rising like broken fangs from the deep. But ask the locals, and they'll tell you, these are not just rock. They were once alive. Two trolls, mighty and reckless, wading into the sea to steal a ship from its waters. They fought against the raging tide, pulling their stolen prize toward the shore. But in their greed, they forgot the coming dawn. And the sun does not forgive. As the first golden light stretched over the horizon, the trolls froze where they stood, turned to stone for eternity. Now they remain, unmoving, unyielding, a silent warning to those who dare to defy the ocean. But Reynisfjara is not just legend, it is alive. The waves strike without mercy, violent, unpredictable. The tide does not retreat, it lunges. And the sneaker waves? They come without a sound. One moment, the ocean seems to rest. The next, it reaches out with a sudden, deadly grasp. Those who underestimate its quiet wrath do not return. Yet, in its darkness, there is beauty. On calm days, the sun casts an ethereal glow over the obsidian sands. The world transforms into a monochrome masterpiece, shadow and light dancing across a shore that seems to belong to another dimension. But the most breathtaking transformation happens at night. When the northern lights spill across the heavens, their emerald and violet flames reflecting on the wet sand, Reynisfjara becomes something otherworldly. A mirror to the cosmos, a portal to forgotten time. This is no mere beach, it is a legend carved in stone, a graveyard of titans, a place where Earth tells its most powerful story. And as you stand upon its midnight black sands, feeling the tremor of waves beneath your feet, you will understand. Vestrahorn and Stokksnes, Iceland's edge of the world. There are places where time stands still, where the land holds its breath. Vestrahorn is one of them. Rising like a jagged crown from the windswept shores of Stokksnes, this mountain is more than a sight. It is a presence, a dark titan, defiant against the endless Atlantic, its peaks sharp as blades, its slopes scarred by time. Here, where the restless sea meets a world forged in fire, the earth speaks in a voice of raw, untamed beauty. It is whispered by the wind, echoed by the waves, etched into the black sands beneath your feet. Vestrahorn is no ordinary peak. Most of Iceland's volcanic mountains wear their icy crowns with quiet dignity, but not this one. This one is fierce, unforgiving. It does not ask for admiration, it demands it. Its basalt spires rise 454 meters into the sky, shrouded in mist, cloaked in shadow. When the light shifts, the mountain burns with hues of deep charcoal, rusted copper, and icy silver, like the armor of an ancient warrior. Yet what makes Vestrahorn truly otherworldly is not its height. It is its reflection. At its feet, Stokksnes Beach unfurls like a mirror of obsidian. The black sand, fine as silk, sculpted by the wind, becomes a perfect-looking glass when the tide is low. The mountain looms above, and below, a vision doubled. Reality reflected. At sunrise, at sunset, when the sky erupts in amber, violet, and crimson, it feels as though you are standing between two worlds, suspended in time. But Vestrahorn is not just a place. It is a force, a convergence of elements. land, sea, and sky, colliding at the edge of the world. The wind does not simply blow here, it howls, a wild, relentless symphony of chaos. The waves do not simply crash, they hunger, white froth lashing against the midnight shore. And yet, within this fury, there is serenity, a rhythm, a hypnotic pull. Perhaps that is why the Vikings once stood here, staring out beyond the horizon, wondering what lay past the edge of the known world. And perhaps that is why, even now, standing here, you feel it too. That ancient longing, that quiet call toward the unknown. But Vestrahorn holds secrets. Nestled at its base, hidden among the black dunes, lies a forgotten Viking village. At first glance, it seems ancient. Wooden, turf-roofed houses, a great hall, a settlement lost to time. But this is no relic of history. It is a ghost town of another kind. A movie set, built for a film that was never made. A world abandoned before its story was told. Yet even empty, it lingers. Walking through it, with Vestrahorn looming above, it feels like stepping into another age, a time of sagas and warriors, a past that was, or perhaps, a past that could have been. And then, night falls, the sky clears, and the heavens ignite. The northern lights awaken, swirling in emerald and violet ribbons, cascading above the mountain peaks. And below, in the wet sands, they dance once more. The world stretches, infinite. The sky and earth become one. And Vestrahorn stands, a silent guardian, watching over it all. Because this is not just a mountain. It is a portal, a gateway to the ancient. Svinafellsjökull Glacier, the frozen titan of Iceland, in the heart of Vatnajökull National Park, where time itself seems to slow under the weight of ice, Svinafellsjökull stretches forward. A frozen titan, a river of ancient ice, sculpted by millennia. But this is more than a glacier. It is alive, breathing, shifting, a place where the raw power of the earth collides with surreal beauty, where the land feels less like our own and more like an alien world. This staggering outlet glacier, an arm of the mighty Vatnajökull, the largest glacier in Europe, flows between jagged mountain peaks, its veins cracked and scarred by centuries of relentless movement. But the ice here is not just white, it is blue, deep sapphire hues, trapped in layers of ancient frozen time. Veins of black volcanic ash snake through its surface like scars from past eruptions. Fire and ice, locked in an eternal battle. Step onto Svinafellsjökull, and the world changes. The air is sharp, crisp, carrying the scent of frozen storms. A deep silence wraps around you, but beneath your feet, the ice groans, shifts, speaks in whispers of centuries past. Every crack, every fissure. A story written in frozen time. Walking along its rugged surface, you feel as though you are treading on the bones of a sleeping giant, a beast frozen in time. Towering ice formations rise like cathedrals of blue glass, their translucent depths glowing with an otherworldly light. But despite its beauty, Svinafellsjökull is not a place of peace. It is a place of power. Deep crevasses carve through the landscape, some so deep they vanish into an abyss. Ice caves form and collapse without warning. It is a stark reminder that nature, in all its grandeur, is still wild, still untamed. What makes Svinafellsjökull truly wonderful is that beneath this frozen kingdom, volcanic forces churn. The land is shifting. Eruptions from nearby volcanoes, like Grímsvötn, have left their mark, draping layers of ash over the ice, as if nature itself were painting a story of creation and destruction. This otherworldly clash of elements has made Svinafellsjökull a favorite among filmmakers. It has doubled as alien worlds, as frozen wastelands. Interstellar, Batman Begins. Here, even Hollywood struggled to find a place more unreal. But despite its strength, Svinafellsjökull is disappearing. Like glaciers around the world, it is retreating, a silent casualty of rising temperatures. Each year, more of its ice vanishes. More of its story fades. Visiting it now is like stepping into a fleeting moment of history, witnessing something magnificent before it changes forever. Standing before Svinafellsjökull, you feel small, insignificant, yet, somehow, deeply connected to the vast forces that shape our world. This glacier is not just a frozen relic. It is a reminder of Earth's past, a symbol of its present, and a warning for its future. It is a cathedral of ice, a battlefield of fire and frost, a place where time slows to a breathless pause. To witness it is to stand at the edge of the Earth itself, a place where legends are carved in ice and whispered by the wind. Skógafoss, the thunderous curtain of Iceland. In the heart of Iceland's south coast, where legends whisper through misty air, Skógafoss stands, a colossal curtain of water, tumbling from the ancient cliffs of a vanished coastline. Just off the ring road, nestled between emerald green hills and black basalt cliffs, this awe-inspiring waterfall greets travelers with a thunderous roar that can be heard long before it comes into view. It's one of Iceland's most iconic sights. Yet its power still surprises even the most seasoned explorers. It is not just a waterfall, it is a force of nature, a relentless cascade plunging 60 meters down with such power that the very ground beneath trembles in quiet reverence. That force, created by glacial meltwater from the Eyjafjallajökull volcano, barrels over the precipice in an unbroken line of white fury. Locals have long believed that the waterfall holds a certain energy, a kind of raw spiritual pulse that connects earth, water, and sky. Stand before it, and you will feel the raw energy of the earth itself. The roaring water crashes into the pool below, sending clouds of mist swirling into the air, so dense, so alive, that on sunny days, rainbows dance in its embrace. These rainbows aren't mere tricks of light. They feel like blessings, fleeting gifts from the waterfall, painting the mist with color and magic. Photographers from around the world come hoping to capture this moment, but no image can ever quite hold the feeling of standing there in person. But Skógafoss is more than just a spectacle. It is a place of myth. In a land where folklore seeps from every stone and stream, Skógafoss has its own tale to tell. The sound of the waterfall often drowns out the world around you, creating a space where myth and reality blur. And in that space, stories are born. They say a Viking settler, Thrasi Thorolfsson, once hid a chest of gold behind this very waterfall. For centuries, adventurers sought it, yet only a single ring was ever found, later placed in a nearby church. The rest? Still waiting, hidden behind the veil of falling water. Some claim that on quiet mornings, when the mist parts just right, the golden glow of the treasure can be seen flickering behind the cascade. Whether truth or tale, the legend lives on, etched into the hearts of locals and whispered by passing travelers. But treasure or not, Skógafoss holds something far greater, a sense of timelessness, a feeling that this place, this moment, exists beyond the reach of the ordinary world. There's something eternal about it. The water that falls today fell from glaciers thousands of years old. The stones beneath your feet were shaped by ice and fire, long before our stories began. Walk closer, feel the cool spray on your skin. Listen to the deep, rhythmic thunder of water meeting rock. It is hypnotic, powerful, and strangely peaceful. Many who visit Skógafoss describe a strange stillness that comes over them, as if time itself pauses, allowing you to simply exist, breathe, and be present in the face of something far greater. And for those who seek a higher view, 370 steps carved into the hillside lead to the top. From here, the world stretches wide, rolling green landscapes, the winding Skåga River, and in the distance, the icy crown of glaciers. The climb may steal your breath, but the view will give it right back. You can trace the path of the river all the way to the sea, and if you're lucky, spot wild sheep grazing on distant slopes. It's Iceland in panorama. A living, breathing postcard. Whether you stand below, dwarfed by its might, or above, gazing at the endless horizon, Skógafoss is a reminder of nature's grandeur, of its untamed beauty, and of the stories, both seen and unseen, that it carries through time. To witness it is to stand on the edge of something greater than yourself. To hear it is to listen to the voice of Iceland itself. The icebergs of Iceland, drifting giants of a frozen realm, in the land of fire and ice, where glaciers carve their way through time itself, the icebergs of Iceland drift like silent, ancient giants. Born from the frozen embrace of Breathtaking Glacier, these towering fragments of ice break away, beginning their slow, mesmerizing journey toward the sea. These icebergs are born from one of nature's most dramatic processes. High in the mountains, glaciers crawl forward inch by inch, century by century. At their edge, massive shards calve off with thunderous cracks, plunging into frigid waters, marking the beginning of a new journey. At Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon, the scene is almost otherworldly. Massive icebergs, some as tall as buildings, float across the glassy waters. The lagoon itself is a surreal canvas, still and glassy, reflecting the jagged ice like a mirror to another world. It's a place that seems untouched by time, where the silence is broken only by the soft groan of shifting ice, or the distant call of Arctic terns gliding overhead. Their frozen surfaces glowing in shades of white, deep sapphire, and translucent blue, some streaked with black volcanic ash, bear the scars of Iceland's restless earth. Each iceberg tells a story. The deeper the blue, the older the ice. The ash, trapped within, speaks of volcanic eruptions that once shook the land and filled the skies with fire. Here, fire and ice do not fight. They fuse, forming breathtaking natural sculptures. Unlike anything else on Earth, as they drift, they whisper, a deep, creaking, groaning sound. A language of ice, telling stories of a time long before ours. Then, the ocean calls. Some of these frozen monoliths are carried to Diamond Beach, where the waves sculpt them into shimmering crystals. Scattered across the jet-black sands, they glisten like fallen stars. It's here that nature performs its most poetic dance. Ice, forged in the heart of glaciers, comes to rest on black sand born of volcanic fire. Under soft light, these glacial remnants sparkle like diamonds tossed by the sea gods themselves. Under the golden glow of sunrise, or the ghostly dance of the northern lights. It is a vision both surreal and fleeting. Few places on Earth offer such contrasts in such harmony. It's a dreamscape, fiery skies above, icy sculptures below, and time suspended in between. Filmmakers, photographers, and wanderers alike come chasing this ethereal moment where light, ice, and Earth converge. But these icebergs are not just remnants of the past, they are a glimpse of the future. Beneath the surface, seals sometimes swim among the ice, and seabirds circle overhead. Life thrives in the cold, adapting to a world in constant motion. Nothing here is static. Everything is in flux, just like Iceland itself. With every passing year, the glaciers retreat. Fewer icebergs make their way into the lagoon. These frozen giants are vanishing. Scientists and travelers alike look upon them with both awe and concern. For as spectacular as they are, these icebergs are also messengers, silent warnings of a changing climate and the fragility of the beauty we sometimes take for granted. To stand before them is to witness a world in motion, a world both powerful and fragile, a world where ice meets ocean, and time stands still, a fleeting wonder, drifting toward eternity. Dyrhólaey, the Arch of Legends. On Iceland's wild southern coast, where the North Atlantic crashes against towering cliffs, Dyrhólaey rises, a sentinel of stone, a relic of fire and sea, a place where earth, wind, and water have carved a monument to time itself. Once an island born from volcanic fury, now a mighty headland crowned by its most striking feature, a colossal rock arch sculpted by the ocean's relentless hands. Standing 120 meters above the waves, the view is boundless. To the north, the icy expanse of Mýrdalsjökull Glacier. To the east, the black sands of Reynisfjara, stretching like a shadow. And to the west, the vast, endless Atlantic, reaching beyond the horizon. The arch itself is immense, so vast that daring pilots have flown through it. Around it, seabirds dance, their wings catching the ocean breeze. And in summer, the cliffs become a sanctuary, where puffins nest, their bright beaks vivid against the dark volcanic stone. But Dyrhólaey is more than a place. It is a story, a legend. Some say it was once a troll, caught by the rising sun and turned to stone. Others believe it is a portal, a gateway between worlds, one we see and one we can only imagine. Whether bathed in golden sunlight, shrouded in mist, or standing beneath the glow of the northern lights, Dyrhólaey is otherworldly, a place where the elements collide, a place where time stands still, a place that feels like the edge of the world. And if you listen as the wind sweeps across the cliffs, you might just hear the ocean whispering its secrets to those who dare to stand upon its heights. We have traveled across a land that feels more like a myth than reality, a place where the earth breathes fire, where waterfalls carve cathedrals of stone, and where time itself stands frozen in the vastness of the glaciers. But what makes Iceland truly extraordinary isn't just its landscapes, it's the stories they tell. Stories of ancient Viking legends, of gods and spirits woven into the land itself, and of a planet still shaping itself before our very eyes. Perhaps the greatest wonder of Iceland is its ability to remind us of just how small we are and how breathtakingly powerful this world can be. But now, I turn to you. Which of these wonders captivated you the most? Was it the fiery eruptions of Fagradalsfjall? The haunting beauty of Reynisfjara's basalt cliffs? Or the frozen, endless expanse of Svinafellsjökull Glacier? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love discovering the world's most surreal places, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. There are still so many hidden wonders waiting to be explored. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and never stop exploring the extraordinary.